You're listening to the Murder Speaks podcast, the show that spills the tea about true crime. Here's your host, Wendy Hinbest.
Hey, welcome back. So today's real crime story is about Cherica Adams from Charlotte, North Carolina. On November 16, 1999, Cherica Adams called 911 to report her own shooting.
Where are you at? Listen to me. Don't know where you are, but tell me where you are, man.
Ray Caruth and Cherica Adams started dating in 1998. And by 1999, she was pregnant. The night of the shooting, she was 8 months pregnant. It was a drive-by shooting. Before the shooting, Cherica and her boyfriend Ray Caruth went to the movies. After the movies, they drive separately, but both on the way to Cherica. Then Ray suddenly stopped and a car pulls up beside Cherica and starts shooting at her. Then Ray takes off. The police thought maybe the shooters were after Ray Caruth, so Cherica is rushed to the hospital. Cherica's mother tries to get a hold of Ray, but couldn't. Suddenly, Ray shows up at the hospital. He tells police that he went to a teammate's house after the movies to play video games, and he received several messages on his phone that Cherica has been shot. The police search his house and find no evidence that links him to Cherica's shooting. The police start to think that her shooting was about drugs. The police ask for Ray's cell phone records. They find Van Brett Watkins on his phone, but then they realize that his relationship with Ray Caruth has nothing to do with drugs. Then the police start to think it was a random act of violence. Michael Kennedy tells police that he's friends with Ray. He admitted that he was driving the car the night Cherica was shot, and there were 2 other people in the car with him. He tells police that Stanley Abraham was sitting in the front seat, and Van Brett Watkins was sitting in the back seat, and he was the shooter. The police talked to Watkins, and he admits that he shot Cherica as a favor to Ray Caruth. Ray hired him to shoot her. He tells Watkins that he's going to take her to the movies, and for him to shoot her. She was following Ray, and he suddenly stopped so she couldn't go anywhere. Then Watkins shoots her 5 times.
I told him not to do it. For 6 months, I avoided him. I didn't go ahead and do it. I couldn't do it. He forced me to do it. He threatened me and the ones I love.
I hope the dies. Did you say that?
That's the I was talking about.
Oh, I see.
Ray Caruth.
Oh.
He didn't stand up. I stood up for mine. I said I did it. I did it because he made me do it.
At the hospital, Cherica had tubes in her throat, so she could not talk. So she writes a note to the police that Ray was driving in front of her and suddenly stopped. Then the car came up beside her. After the shooting, Ray made a number of calls to Michael Kennedy and Van Brett Watkins. He did not go to his teammate's house until midnight, so he had plenty of time to have Cherica killed. December 14th, Cherica died, and Ray Caruth is charged with first-degree murder. He was released on bail on 2 conditions. He has to pay $3 million to post his bail, and if the baby or Cherica die, he has to turn himself in. Ray Caruth was charged with murder. Police went to his house to arrest him, and he was gone. December 15th, 1999, an anonymous caller called the police to tell them where Ray was. November 20th, 2000, he was on trial for murder. Michelle Riley, mother of Ray's firstborn child, took a paternity suit to get Ray to pay. She says that Ray threatened her too.
Don't be surprised if you got in a fatal car accident. And when he said it, I said, what did you say to me? And he said, I was just joking.
Ray Caruth was sentenced to 18 years in prison.
We, the jury, returned the unanimous verdict as follows: that the defendant, Ray Lamar Caruth, is guilty of conspiracy to commit murder of Cherica Adams.
It is the judgment of the court that the defendant be imprisoned for a period of not less than 196 months.
His son, Chancellor Lee Adams, has cerebral palsy as a result of the shooting that night. Okay, that's it for now. Thank you so much for listening. If you like it, please share it. Sharing is caring. And if you are a true crime addict like me, check out my store, crystalcase.com, for some murder merch. I sell hoodies, t-shirts, and leggings. Thanks for listening. Bye.